So, Chris, fresh
Yes.
back from
Guangzhou.
Guangzhou in China,
Yeah.
and the SSL, the Speedcube Super League from Gan.
Here's my certificate of honor from Mr. Gan himself.
Amazing, you've met Mr. Gan.
I don't really know what it says.
Same.
It says certificate of honor, and it's got my name and then my name in Chinese. I
Ooh,
think.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
I got a bunch of swag.
Yeah, you got that. You had that game shirt, hey?
Yeah, got the new shirts. I got a medal up here. Oh,
Nice.
actually,
Ooh.
there you go. Got a medal. It spins and everything.
What's that card? What's that
Oh,
card beside
that's
the medal?
from the Ting Man video.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he made cards, didn't he?
Yeah, it's pinned up on my wall.
That's some super swag. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying was segueing from Diansheng putting money into competitions, Gan clearly putting money into competitions because
Yes.
that was a hell of a production, hey?
A lot of money. They paid everyone to fly out there, like themselves and their parents if they needed to. They put us in the nicest hotel I've ever stayed in.
Really?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, like it was a crazy room. Like there was buttons to open our curtains. The rooms were massive. The best shower I've ever been in. It was pretty awesome.
Okay, wow, I need to get in on this. This sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And as well as that, so they paid a lot of money to have you all there. They also handed out a lot of money in prize money. Was top prize not like equivalent to like
Top prize
10,000
was-
US?
Yeah, it was 70,000 RMB, and yeah, you divide it by 7 to get to US dollars.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. And I think I heard Dylan Miller saying that that's like 3 times more than the 3x3 winner gets at Worlds.
And also, even me, who got like essentially last place between
did you?
9 and 16th,
Yeah.
because there was only 8 people made it to the next stage.
Yeah.
We also got 1,500 RMB, so that's like $400 New Zealand.
That's not bad, hey. That's
It's
not bad for
yeah,
turning
just
up.
for showing up, just for showing up.
And
yeah.
considering they paid you to show up, like
Yeah,
they covered your expenses to show up. That's great. So that's the first question, is because I only saw the stream of the top 8 and you were notable by your absence. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do the maths here.
Yeah.
Chris is not in the top 8. Where did you finish?
So they had a few different stages. They had a seeding round, which then ranked you in order of what group you picked for the group stage. And then they had everybody in 4 different groups, and then the top 2 from your group of 4 made it to the top 8. So in the seeding round, I was 9th, and then I went into group A, which had Timon, Du Yufeng, and Shunghek Nam. And then I went up against Nam first. He beat me 2-0 and beat me 4-0 in every set. And then I went up against Timon Koloshinsky, who beat me 2-0 and beat me 4-0 in every set.
Wow.
And then I went up against Du Yufeng, who did exactly the same thing.
Oh my
So
God.
in the group stage, I did 24 solves and I lost all of them.
That's devastating. And I bet they weren't bad solves that you were doing. Hey?
No, there was a couple. I think one of the solves I got like 509 and Nam got 505 or something like that.
Here's the thing though, like looking at that lineup, was there any group that wouldn't have been devastating?
Yeah, so I think, 4 groups. Group A was like pretty solid. Like once our groups had been settled, I'm like, okay, out of the groups I could be in, Group A is like, I'm kind of happy I'm in Group A.
Yeah.
Group B was probably the best one to be in. So that one had Yi Heng Wang, so it was like, okay, he's getting through. But then it had Rashad Delacoste from Switzerland, who's only a little bit faster than me in terms of WCA average. And then it had Li Zhaokun, who's like a new Chinese kid who's got sub 6, but he's like not on the same top tier as the rest of the Chinese guys. And then there was, what's his name? Zhen Chen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the same. Like he's obviously really good, much better than me in terms of like Chinese speed cubing. He's like just a step below the top guys.
Yeah, right.
So I think group B was the group to be, because group C you had Ruihang, Matty, Tuan, and then another one of those Chinese guys, Zixuan. So and Tuan's pretty fast nowadays.
Zixuan Gang?
No, that's Zhuan Yi.
That's Zhuan Yi, beg your pardon.
And then group D was the group of death. It had Bofan Zhang, Zhuan Yi Gang, Felix Zemdegs, and Leo Borromeo.
Oh my days. How did
So
Felix go?
that group has Felix as the slowest cuber there, which is crazy.
That's what I was
he did
thinking.
decent. He didn't do bad.
Because I was looking at the top 16 and I was thinking of you and like, well, who would you want to draw against? And I was like,
Yeah.
what is this ridiculous situation where you're looking at these top 16 and going, if I get Felix
I want to go
in my
against
group,
Felix. Yeah. I want to go up against Felix. I want to go up against Shunghek Nam. I want to go up against Leo Borromeo. Like those are the people you kind of want to be against, which is
Terrifying.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, Felix didn't do bad. He got a 3.6 on one of the solves, which is really high.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he got close to beating Bofan Zhang, like very close. He had a few match points that he fumbled, but he didn't make it to the top 8. Surprisingly, Leo actually made it to the top 8 from that group. Leo and Zhuan Yu.
I actually was surprised to see Leo in the top 8.
Yeah, everyone was kind of expecting Bofan to do it, but he kind of crumbled under the pressure a bit.
Didn't do it. How old's Bofang? Is he one of the tiny ones?
He is 9.
Yes. So yes.
Yeah. Yes, he is one of the tiny ones. I mean, they're all pretty tiny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's fair. But then you've got Du Yusheng. He's not tiny.
Du Yufang.
Du Yufang. Was it Yusheng Du was there, wasn't he?
Not competing.
Oh, right. Okay. I beg your pardon. It was a scary head-to-head. And some of the TPS.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Ruhang threw down like some 50 in TPS solves. I think maybe even a 60 in TPS solve.
That's wild.
Absolutely bonkers. He was getting 5s with like 80 moves.
I do 80 moves. That's like, I did hear Dylan talking about that. He got deep into some technique stuff, and he was talking, I don't know if you've spoken to Dylan since then or heard any of his commentary, but he was speaking about specifically some of these younger Chinese cubers aren't color neutral necessarily.
No, most of them aren't. It's quite rare to be.
Because their TPS is so hectic that it actually doesn't give them an advantage.
Yeah, well, really, it's more that now we're getting to the age of speed cubing where you're trying to plan a lot more than we used to. Like, if you go a few years back, all the top cubers were planning their first F2L pair and maybe their second. Nowadays, these top guys like Zhuan Yigang are always planning 3 and sometimes planning 4.
Yeah, that's wild.
And if you're thinking you've only got 15 seconds of inspection, it's more important to plan further in your inspection. Like, just immediately go for white or yellow and then plan further than to spend your time wasting deciding which color to pick just for a marginal benefit, you know?
Yes.
So
that's what he was saying.
What we're doing at the moment is because people are only just starting to delve into the depths of planning your full F2L, there's not enough time to pick pick the best color and then also plan crazy far into your solve. So it's just better to go, all right, let's do white or let's do yellow. I think a lot of the Chinese guys are just doing white now as well. And then just delve into the solve as much as you can.
Yeah, because you've not got enough time in inspection to be planning 2 different options for 3 F2L pairs.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's brain is that big, surely.
Yeah, like it's not at the stage like it is for 2x2 where you one look like 7 solutions. Like no one is able to go look at orange, plan first 3 pairs, decide it's not good enough, look at yellow, plan first 3 pairs, decide that's not good enough. Like we're not at that stage yet.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you just for some questions really around the sort of audience experience and just the technicalities of the show itself. Like, because it was like a show.
Yeah.
It was like I as a viewer, there were some technical difficulties, which was a thing which we'll maybe talk about. But I thought it was such a good watchable thing, like from my perspective. What did you think of the format? Because it was kind of based on, I guess from my own experience, it was based on like how a lot of sort of competitive games are done, right? The bracket system.
Yeah.
Did that work for you?
I think the format was an improvement on last year. Last year they had like 2 stages of double elimination, and it was like, or maybe even triple elimination. It was very hard to keep track of. I remember watching it in like my hotel room after Worlds. I was sat down with my mate Conan Mo, who speaks a little bit of Chinese, and we were just he was trying to translate, and I was just trying to look at all of the graphics and figure out what the hell was going on. So this year they definitely simplified it a bit with this like group system for the first stage, and then just a double elimination after that. They made a little bit of a blunder with the grouping system, or with how you seeded into your groups. So they randomly picked everyone to do a head-to-head match, and then the winner of those matches, they were ranked in the top 8 based on their best single for that match.
Yeah.
And the loser from those matches were ranked 9th to 16th based on their best single. So I got a 4 in that match, but I lost, so I ranked 9th. And then they called out our names one by one from the 1st to the 16th. We took a little card, magnetic card with our name and face on it, and we stuck it on the board in the group we wanted to go in. But the blunder they made is they made the fastest people pick first when there's nothing really to pick. So Timon was the fastest because he got like a 3.3 in the seeding stage, and he goes and he just puts it in group A because he has no choice to make because no one else has put it there. So it's not until you get to the slower people where you can actually see where everyone's gone in the group, and then they get a choice. So the best place to be was 13th.
Interesting. Yeah, so they should have made the slower people pick the groups first then, so that the faster people could have been tactical about it.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
So we weren't entirely sure how it worked, but we were kind of discussing maybe throwing that match, like purposefully losing.
Scandalous.
Which I didn't do. I just lost anyway because I'm not very good. But then I threw because I got it like a 4.7, which I actually thought maybe that would rank me around 12th or 13th. But then everybody else bombed. So I beat people like Matty and Leo who lost their matches.
Right.
So that was a bit of a blunder on my part. But I still got like a decent choice for picking my group.
Yes, okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just answering something in the chat. So people are asking, are you going to answer questions from the chat? Yes, we are. Sorry, I've neglected the chat slightly. And I'm being corrected and laughed at because Yu Shengdu, of course, is Moyu. So, duh.
Yes. He was there, though.
He was
did show
there.
Up for a day.
I knew I saw him. Yeah, okay, cool.
I did say good day to him.
Yeah, nice. There were some tech issues. Chris, here's the thing.
Yes.
You remember the GAN iCarry. You were working here when the GAN iCarry episode happened, and we had all those tech issues, all those returns, and then I got like mega over using my GAN iCarry because it just kept dropping turns and desyncing, and I was like, this is trash. I'm over this, and that's why I love my Qi SCS Smart Cube so much, because in 1400 solves it hasn't dropped a single turn, and I freaking love it. Tell me, what was your experience like using the GAN Smart Cubes in the competition?
Yeah, so the hardware they have now is very strong. Like with the weeks leading up to this competition, I was just doing all my solves on this GAN 12 UI, which basically just feels like a GAN 12. I wasn't actually using the Smart Cube aspect of it because I just wanted to keep all my times in CS timer, and I also wanted to stay like used to using a stack max. I didn't want to like fully switch over to using a Smart Cube. But this cube is phenomenal. Like in terms of when I've actually used the smart capabilities, I've never had any issues. It always just works. I've now got the new like the maglev one, which is really slow at the moment because I kept a bunch of lube in it. I haven't broken it in, which comes with a little AirPods charging case.
Yeah, that's cool.
But no, the hardware is really good now. They don't have like the same tech issues they used to have. But the problem is the app and the software is still all terrible. Like it's a really hard app to use, and I think that was what was causing all of the issues at the competition. On the final day, it wasn't as bad. So what you've seen probably wasn't as bad as it was on the first day.
Really?
But I think when I had my match against Shunghok Nam, they called us onto stage, and I swear to God, we were sat there for about a good 20 minutes waiting for them to fix it.
Oh, that's rough.
So yeah, the hardware in terms of the cubes is there now. They just need to sort out their software.
Okay. I mean, that has to an extent always been a problem. The apps are not great. Like nobody's app is good. Hey, you've used the Rubik's one in the Red Bull,
which is surprisingly the best one.
Is it really the best software? Interesting. And you've used the Moyu one. I've never used the Moyu one, but I've heard it's a bit of a turd.
Yeah, I used it for a few solves, I think.
Have you used it since the V10? Have you used it this year?
No.
Nah, because that was first year. I don't know if it's changed, honestly. The
I
GAN
think
one's
I used
okay.
it when they were sending out prototypes.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. You were prototyping the first one. The GAN one. It's just a terrible user interface.
It has the functionality. It just doesn't. Yeah, it's just disgusting to use. And then in the competition, it has a lot of issues.
It has the functionality if you can find it.
Yeah.
And just not quite stable enough to last the competition. Okay.
No.
But I mean, was it the actual release version app? Do you know? You might not know this. Was it the actual app you were using, or was it one that the devs were inside?
Well, it was done through like the released app, but then it was using features that I think only devs can access, because they were like inviting you to one-on-one matches and stuff like that, which I don't think you can do just as a normal member of the public on the app.
Yeah, it's all randomly or seeded.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed with the Qi one. I love it, but it's getting boring now. It's just like, no, I want my alg trainer in there. I want the GAN alg trainer in there so I can grind.
Yeah.
But they haven't changed anything yet. You know, it's taken a little while. Curious Nick in the chat, the GAN app is worse since the update. Amarok making the interesting point, the Rubik software is developed by a company that isn't based out of China, and I think that's the issue.
I think it's based out of Israel, actually.
Is it Israel the Rubik's one comes from? I wonder if they've got a strong English speaking team that are leading it, because that's, as a Westerner using these apps, it has been, there's lots of translation issues, but there's also, in my mind, it's not about language or translation or where they've made. It's they just don't seem to be investing in UI and user interface people. Yeah. Like, I think the first company who can nail the UI is going to nail the whole thing. And Raz and me for being talking to a cubicle guy about the SCS Smart Cube. It's not a SpeedCube Shop Smart Cube. It's the Qi SC-S. But that is an excellent segue into some ads. Hey, don't forget to use code SpeedCube Shop. Code CubeCast at SpeedCube Shop for 5% off. 5% off your order. Don't listen to Chris Mills. Definitely don't use his code at the cubicle. I can't recommend that course of action. That'd be terrible. Cubing Life Academy, save 5% off with code CubeCast. And of course, go to speedcube.co.nz. Buy junk from me. and use code CubeCast there as well for 5% off too. And lastly, at cubing.com. That's where I have all the other stuff. That was fun. That was a great segue. Thank you so much for that. Who did that? I can't remember. So the audience were vibing? Were they having fun?
Yeah, I didn't. So they had a lot of seating, and somebody was saying that they sold out, but it did not seem like they sold out. It was not full. There was still a lot of people there. But yeah, it did not look full. Definitely on the first day, everyone was probably a bit bored because of all the tech issues. I
did see someone saying about them dropping off.
Yeah, and people were probably just like chatting and cubing and stuff like that, and not really paying attention, which is fair enough. That's kind of what we were doing. But they had a couple of signing sessions after the competition on both nights, which was crazy. Like we were sat there for a good 40 minutes just signing, taking photos. Just queues of people.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool. And that was on both days as well.
That's great. And that gives you an indication of where cubing is in the zeitgeist in China, right? It's because you can't really imagine that happening in the UK or in New Zealand or in Australia even. Maybe for 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, at Worlds last year, they did have signing tables, but people just didn't really know about it because there was times that people were scheduled to go sit at the signing booths, but not that many people really knew about it. So people would just go up to Felix and Max just whenever, because they are accessible at all times. It's not like here where we had our VIP area or whatever.
Yeah.
They were just permanently accessible. So what's the point of going to a signing session when you can just go up to them at any time, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that kind of comes back to my point, and something I want to, when Dylan's going to come on the stream later this season, and I want to talk to him about this kind of stuff. But I think, WCA real good at putting on cube competitions, not necessarily great at putting on spectator events.
No.
But GAN has done that really well, I think, in some regards, because they just got the best cubers in the world and made them battle at 3x3. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to watch, you know?